Although each animal living on Earth has many different characteristics, some animals are almost impossible to kill, despite many animals being easily neutralized. We advise you not to touch these animals if they haven't harmed you. Otherwise, they will prove that they are not easy prey like flies. You can support us by liking the video to encourage more videos like this. Here are 10 animals that are impossible to kill. The 10-number giant African snail, Achatina fulica, is the most beloved and therefore commonly kept as a pet among African land snails. It can live up to 10 years. It averages about 12 centimeters in length and 6 centimeters in diameter. Its shell color ranges from reddish-brown to light yellow tones, or can be entirely light yellow, as there are different varieties. Remember that the plastic cover on top of our snail can be easily pushed and lifted, making it strong enough to move away from you comfortably. It might not be a good idea to touch this animal with your hands because snails can transmit diseases seen in humans, such as eosinophilic meningitis caused by a parasite similar to that found in rodents. If snails sense danger or become uncomfortable with something in their environment, they retreat into their shells, which are as hard as stone, making it impractical to try to fight with them. Number 9. Water bears. Water bears, or tardigrades, are microscopic creatures. Being so small and invisible, it's very difficult to kill them. What sets this creature apart from others is that it's the most resilient organism on Earth. It can survive in any conditions whatsoever. Approximately 960 species are known. They are extraordinarily resilient to extreme environmental conditions. Examination of their genes has revealed that water bears, initially found in freshwater, have adapted to survive on land as well. These microorganisms can survive temperatures as high as 180 degrees Celsius and as low as minus 236 degrees Celsius, but they are affected by high levels of radiation and pressure. They can live anywhere on Earth, from the depths of the oceans to the highest mountains. Moreover, it has been discovered that they can even survive in space. Number 8. Mimic octopus. As the name suggests, the mimic octopus is an octopus with highly developed mimicry abilities. In a very short time, it can change the shape and color of its body to blend into its surroundings and either capture its prey before it notices or escape from enemies by taking on the guise of other creatures. It can mimic the appearance of any animal in its environment, including lionfish, sea snake, flatfish, scorpionfish, sea anemone, and boxer crab. It has been observed mimicking 6 out of its 8 legs to resemble a poisonous snake while burying the remaining 2 in the sand. After learning about these abilities, do you think it's a good idea to kill this animal? Number 7. Giant weta. This animal, known as the giant weta, is among the largest insect species in the world. Resembling a grasshopper, it can be larger than some birds and weigh as much as 3 mice. The giant weta attributes its substantial size to the scarcity of predatory animals in its habitat. These insects can reach lengths of 10 centimeters and weigh up to 35 grams. A giant weta carrying eggs can have a body mass of 70 grams, making it heavier than a sparrow. The heaviest species of giant weta is the wetapunga. In a study conducted in 2011, a wetapunga weighing 71 grams was reported. These animals, which can easily consume carrots, can also easily harm a human finger. Number 6. African lungfish. Removing this animal from the water and placing it in a dry environment won't be very effective. African lungfish can survive for more than 4 years without water during periods of drought when rains cease, in muddy cocoons. When water levels begin to recede during dry seasons, each lungfish digs a tunnel for itself in the mud and settles inside. The tunnel has a porous cover that allows air to enter. The fish secretes a mucus fluid inside the cocoon made of mud, preventing its skin from drying out. Due to the consumption of muscle tissue as a source of nutrients, African lungfish can lose up to 3 centimeters in length within a season. Sometimes during prolonged periods of drought, they can lose half of their bodies. African lungfish can survive without water in muddy cocoons for more than 4 years. Number 5. Hydra. If this tiny creature called Hydra were human-sized, it would indeed be a terrifying monster. However, the Hydra, named after the fearsome, nine-headed monster slain by one of Greek mythology's greatest heroes, Heracles, is only about 3 centimeters long and as thin as a pin, making it visible only under a microscope. It lives in freshwater puddles and feeds on small aquatic animals. With their long and slender bodies resembling a narrow sac, they cling to rocks and plants in the water using adhesive discs on the lower part of their bodies. There are approximately 25 species of Hydra. Some are light brown, while others are green due to the presence of chlorophyll, which comes from single-celled algae living in their digestive cavities. Number 4. Naked mole rat. This hairless social mammal almost never gets cancer and has a high level of brain-supporting proteins that explain why it lives up to 10 times longer than a normal rat. Now, new research suggests that naked mole rats can also survive for 18 minutes without oxygen, with no lasting effects. By comparison, humans typically experience severe brain damage after about 3 minutes without oxygen. Naked mole rats achieve this feat through a molecular trick used by plants. They stop glucose metabolism and start metabolizing a different sugar, fructose. Saying that this animal is dead for sure when it stops breathing might deceive you. Number 3. Snake. Snakes can be killed for many reasons, and it's not impossible. However, this doesn't mean they are simple creatures. If you encounter one in the forest, you'll see how resilient they are, no matter how much you beat them. Snakes resist a lot to avoid death and can even move when their heads are severed. Chef Feng Fang from Guangdong province wanted to prepare a medicinal snake soup according to their traditions. In doing so, he decapitated a spitting cobra, believing it to be functionless, and set aside its head while attempting to dismember the snake's body. However, he was bitten by the apparently incapacitated cobra's head that he had placed aside approximately 20 minutes later and tragically passed away before reaching the hospital. Reptiles like snakes do not require as much blood or oxygen to maintain their functions as we do. This means that even if blood and oxygen are not supplied to a snake's brain, it can remain alive and functional enough to bite for quite some time. Number 2. Flea. Fleas, notorious for their bites and everyone's endeavor to eradicate them, can be a real nuisance. If they enter a home, getting rid of them won't be easy. Catching this animal through your own efforts is almost impossible, and even if caught, it can easily escape from your grasp. There are many medications available on the market to combat fleas. While some are effective, unfortunately, others don't work well. Fleas, despite their small size, are not as innocent as they may seem. Number 1. Immortal jellyfish. The Turritopsis dohrnii, belonging to the group of jellyfish, is referred to as an immortal creature by scientists. This is because when the creature senses that it's approaching death, it undergoes a process where it completely renews its cellular structure, essentially rejuvenating itself. In other words, it's like a 90-year-old man reverting back to being 20 when he should be dying. This animal is often described as virtually immortal because nobody knows the limits of its bodily death. However, this cycle of rejuvenation could one day come to an end, just like the sun.